It's us again, here to talk to you about things you're not interested in anymore. You might have been literally 11 years ago. That's the type of thing that we're interested in. It's us. Podcast Badly.
Is it weird that like I'm the exact demographic for our own podcast then? Because that's what I do.
I know, that's the point.
I'll not get to something after like 11 years after it's come out. GTA 5 as the perfect example.
You just started playing that.
I finished it now, but like I fucking, I finally got to that this year, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is great.
We got Judd playing GTA 5 before we got GTA 6, so that's something at least. Yeah. But to be fair, it's because we want to make sure things are good first. Give it plenty of time to sit.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to make sure it's good after it's been out a little while, you have to wait for time to give it the test of whether something's good or not. So, it's fine. But the reason why I say that is because I figure we'll probably end up talking about Utopia today, which is the show that you've finally gotten around to watching after I blasted through Barry. I've started watching it again. I've just kind of got through a few episodes to remind me what happens. Yeah. But obviously I've seen the whole thing twice over. Yeah. So there's no spoilers for me. We can talk about everything you've seen.
Yeah. So I've only watched season 1 so far.
But you managed to get through all of season 1, right?
All of season 1.
I'm going to have to be kind of careful then, because I don't know what's season 1 and what's season 2 at this point in my head. So, yeah. Well, basically, if no one knows what Utopia is, it's a show that was on Channel 4. It's made me think, shows from that era were fucking good, weren't they?
Channel 4,
especially UK
Channel 4 put out some really good shit as well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Channel 4 used to be like one of the channels that you always went back to.
Yeah, it was like, it's fuck Netflix, fuck HBO, fuck like all those. Yeah. Channel 4 was so, I mean, like, I'm thinking like Misfits.
Yeah.
Before that kind of tanked a bit.
I think Peep Show was on.
Peep Show, was that era. I mean, it depends. I'm kind of thinking more, the like dramas like this, like the really like kind of gritty drama type stuff. They were awesome for that, but also had a shit ton of good comedy. I mean, just to rattle off the comedies, Peep Show was Peep Show on that? I don't know.
I'm
Peep
not
Show was that
sure.
era anyway.
Yeah.
In-Betweeners, Fresh Meat.
Was IT Crowd then? Or
IT Crowd was that sort. I'm talking like early 2000s to like that 10-year span from like early 2000s to kind of early 10s, 2010s. Awesome shows.
There was I don't know if this was Channel 4, but there was like a 3-episode miniseries called Bon Voyage that were really good. And I just feel like they used to do shit like that all the time, where it'd just be like 3-episode miniseries, this is it. And it'd be great.
I just think it's not... Back then, they were just trying to make good stuff for some reason. I think now it's just not... It doesn't tend to happen too much, because people just want to watch... I don't think people have got time. Because what I think is happening is, there's more and more adults now, people our age, who can't afford to just go to their job and have free evenings and free weekends to watch what they like and watch good stuff. They ain't got time for that shit. They have to work like a second job to be able to make enough money to have a decent life, and they have to work their ass off so that they don't have to pay other people to do things. Like, I have to learn how to fit a washing machine because I can't afford to pay someone to do it. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think too many people are doing that, so they ain't got time to get stuck into and appreciate something really good. So they just like whack on an hour of Married at First Sight where they can be futzing about doing something else while that's on, and that's it. So that's why Channel 4 only makes that shit now. But Utopia then. First season. Your Nanan loved it from the small amount that,
she liked it,
that I spoke to her about it.
Yeah. Grandad kept falling asleep, but Grandad always falls asleep.
in everything.
So that's not an indication if it's good or not. Yeah, I liked it. It lost me a little bit in certain places, and that mainly was just because everybody kept fucking flipping on what side they were on. You'd be like, okay, I think I've got a handle on this character, and then they'd do or say something, and you'd just be like, whoa, what the fuck?
That's why right at the start, Jessica Hyde says there's no sides.
Yeah.
There's no sides.
Yeah.
So you kind of almost have to follow the individual characters and their journeys rather than kind of thinking of them as groups.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, that's not like you can't tell someone they're watching something wrong in terms of that. It's like the show should help you do that if that's what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do understand because there's a lot of like names and things to remember and like events that happened and what the events were called, and there's a lot of kind of things that you have to remember to have the impact of them to happen. But I did think the first episode, I was like asking where's Jessica Hyde all the way through that.
Yeah.
It like really comes across as, oh my god, like this is going to be a big part of the mystery. Then she just fucking turns up.
Yeah, she's just
I was like, whoa! The first time I watched it.
It's like the first episode she's there. Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was funny. It was funny just like watching it and like not all the way through, but a lot of the time, they'd say something that because basically the not going too far into it, but the overarching story is that
spoilers are fine.
Yeah, okay,
it's been out for literally 11 years.
I know, but I mean, I'm not going to get really into it.
They've already rebooted it. But an American version on Amazon.
Oh, I think you told me that. Yeah. Yeah, so the idea is that there's a virus going around, and there's this essentially miracle cure Russian vaccine that the UK government are trying to sort of like very quickly and hurriedly like get in so that people can start taking it. Now, I say the words vaccine and without trials and stuff like that.
I know. When I first watched it, I'm going, because I was like, I just have Pfizer pumped into my arm, and I was like,
I know. So basically, like at least once or twice an episode, they'd say something on the TV, and my nana and granddad just go, "Oh my god!"
And you have to remember, this came out in 2013.
Yeah, this came out in 2013, like 7 years before anything like that.
And obviously, I'm not going to say what they are because it's in season 2, but there's more stuff that comes up in season 2 that references kind of things in the past.
Yeah.
That, like, there's the people who wrote that show, it's like, once people looked into it afterwards, and were like, wait a minute, no one knew that about like certain incidents, and like it freaked me out the fuck out.
Weird.
Like honestly, and because it's about this manuscript that feels like it's predicting the future or something like that, it feels terrifying that it's kind of so like parallel with real world things going on.
There's a bit where I think he's some sort of like MP or secretary or something. He's the guy who sort of bullies around the health secretary.
Fucking the guy who plays that sad dad in Sex Education. Great fucking actor, by the way. Because I was terrified of him as the like health secretary guy in this. But then he's like some sad divorced dad in something else, and he plays both of them brilliantly.
But he's on TV at one point, and he says like, keep travel to a minimum. The elderly and children need to think of the elderly, and and literally, if you put that next to a clip of people talking about like COVID, it's like matches up. It's
and I
like
know The Simpsons predicts things,
yeah,
but this ain't just an episode that's kind of about the same sort of thing. This thing was like it was like it was made after COVID, as like a play on it. It's weird.
Yeah, and I know probably all that they've done is they've sort of just like looked at what is like the United Kingdom's policy in case a situation like this ever occurred, and then they've written a script around it, and then obviously 7 years later a situation like that has occurred, and that's probably why they're just sort of parroting each other. But it's fucking weird still. It feels almost beat for beat what happened.
Well, that's why I mentioned that. Oh, I put the light on. That's why I mentioned season 2 that you've not quite seen yet, so I don't want to say what it is.
Yeah.
That made it more freaky. Yeah. Because then it's not just looking at that. It's like it's weird. It's like honestly, it's like this show's got more info on things than people should have.
Yeah.
It's creepy, and especially because the show's about a society that's got more. What's it called? The network. A network that's got more information than should be possible.
Yeah.
And then the show seems to also have more. It's just great. and that is like just the building block chunk on top of really fucking cool style music. The acting's amazing.
I have to say, I think this show might have the best original score that I've heard in any.
It's so
show.
unique,
Yeah.
and yet somehow perfectly matches the look that they've gone for and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the music's
wild.
great.
I really thought you would love Arby.
I don't know who that is yet. Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, I do like Harvey. Yeah. We were hoping he might appear in the second season, but we were hoping that guy you were hanging out with would like come back the first season. Okay, so I'm guessing maybe second season.
We're hoping he'd come back.
Yeah.
He did get shot to death.
It got him in sort of like the belly area, so I thought that maybe he could survive it. But
I know what you
he's
mean.
not. So.
I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. I mean,
no, I know. It just, we liked him. We just thought he was a cool character.
It's quite fun.
Yeah.
But again, I think you have to kill off some of your good characters.
Yeah.
You have to do that for impact.
It's the first episode is the thing. It's just like I know.
I think that's another thing I really love about this, because a lot of, especially mystery and kind of suspenseful dramas, they're slow to try and edge you. Like, come on, I need the mystery. You know, like they're edging you basically for the big reveal.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is everything then relies on a big reveal.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to live up to that. Whereas this, it's drenched in mystery and it's brilliant, but it's fast. Things are moving along. Each episode, a lot of shit happens.
I think there's a lot of like small sort of reveals that happen throughout the series until you get to a sort of like a big reveal at the end, which is good because it's like, you know, like you're saying, if it all leads up to one big reveal and you fuck up the one big reveal, then it kind of fucks up the entire show.
Exactly.
But if you've got lots of little, like, here you go, then it's like, it keeps you interested in the show. And it might get to the final like mystery reveal, and you might think, I didn't like that as much as I thought I would. But you've had such a good time on the way there that it doesn't matter. Yeah. Which I did feel about the sort of big reveal of season 1. I guess I'll say it. Spoilers for the fucking 10-year-old show, however long it is. But they're looking for a character called Mr. Rabbit the whole time, and it turns out that Mr. Rabbit is actually a lady that has been helping them out, supposedly. Right. And I didn't know how I felt about that so much. I don't think I can specifically say why. I just I don't know. I just sort of just like, oh, all right. I'm not going to say maybe I'm just sexist.
No, it's fine because like I know what you mean, and I know season 2 as well. So
okay, fair enough. It's probably not even
the motorbikes must choose to ride past as soon as we press record. They must do nothing all day, and then as soon as you turn up, the motorbikes start. Yeah. Well, basically, I think I remember feeling a bit similar, but by the end of it, not.
Yeah. Okay.
It definitely turned it around. You have to remember as well, like we were saying with not relying on a big reveal and kind of doing it in the style that they do in this show, which I think is a really good idea. It lends itself particularly well for this because it got cancelled a season early, which is a big shame. Now, it got cancelled a season early with enough time for them to write it like so that it weren't left hanging and it weren't an awful ending by any means. Yeah. But it's just worth bearing that in mind that you quite possibly won't end up with the biggest of like payoffs. Yeah. But it's, I mean, I'm amazed they did as good as they did, considering they got told, oh, you've got a season less than you should do to finish this thing now. I think it could kind of lend itself to it though that they only have 2 seasons. They sort of had to almost, I don't know if they do this, but sort of like leave some certain things in the wind because it's so like steeped in mystery as like we said, but also it's kind of like almost like Lovecraftian in a way that you feel like this Scooby-Doo gang that they are essentially put up at like it's an impossible threat. It's like you can't even put your finger on it. It's not like there's no person to look towards. I suppose now at end of season 1 you can look at Mr. Rabbit, Milner, but not really, because like if you know all the story of how Mr. Rabbit's connected to the network, they're almost separate entities in a way. It's like it's basically a third party. Yeah.
So, but then it's like this thing that is happening is global. Basically, it's like a global thing, and it involves multiple countries, like governments of countries.
But it's not like multiple governments as in totality. It's like people in them, or all of them, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like
it's like
it might
branches.
be that shop worker down the street.
It's branches, and that sometimes as well also fight amongst themselves. So it's like what's you know these companies that are, and governments that are supposed to be working together but aren't, and are secretly warring between each other to see who comes out on top on this new world they're building. It's like, what chance does the Scooby-Doo mystery gang in the van fucking have? And
it's like we said, there's not even a figurehead to look towards. It's like this ether of a network that can't even define itself.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even know what's going on. It's like, it's such an interesting thing to be coming up against.
Yeah.
Because it's not even a thing. It's such like a blur.
Yeah.
But like it's a gorgeous, interesting blur.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's super hard to describe as an enemy.
Yeah.
You know, like Batman as the Joker.
Yeah.
Like the Network.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not something you can put your finger on in any way, which is amazing.
Yeah. Oh jeez, what were I about to say? Oh no!
I'll ask you this.
No.
Do you like Wilson Wilson?
I do like Wilson Wilson. I actually, and that's reminded me what I was about to say. It's very easy to side with the bad guys in big bunny ear quotation marks.
Yeah, that's all very bad as well.
Yeah, it's like I could, you know, I basically I consider them the bad guys because of their methods. Like. I think they take shit too far.
Up a school,
it's like shit like that. It's almost like, well, I feel like you could have achieved the same results with far less casualties.
But then you have got Jessica Hyde, who's like,
I know, I get that though, because that's the only way she knows. That's the way that she's been.
Yeah, I know, but that's kind of what I'm just reinforcing your point of like bad guys.
Yeah,
I would put maybe the best thing to say is potentially slightly worse guys.
Yeah,
that's the best you can give them at this.
Yeah, yeah. No, I do like it.
And are you attached to Wilson Wilson?
I mean, not mega. Is he dead? Is he fully dead? Dead in the ground?
I don't know.
You do?
No, I'm just fucking with it. I'm not saying anything. I just thought it'd be funny to imply that he might die. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense if he did.
They might do. Yeah. I don't know. They all might do for all I care. I actually do know, but
I know you do.
I just think it's so good. Pyrocynical got me onto this. I remember starting to watch. Let's see how long he's. All he does is like massively long videos about stuff. Let's see. His latest video is like 8.5 hours long, and I'm like, I'm not watching that.
I know.
I watched Buckshot Roulette's Hidden Meaning. I watched that. His videos are I think they've kind of fallen off a little bit in terms of he makes them about stuff that he's streaming right now. So they're all like video games that are kind of lesser known, kind of mysterious or mystery surrounded games, which is still pretty cool. It's still pretty close, but it's like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to watch 8.5 hours about a video game. What was the one? There you go. So it was 7 hours 40. His video on Utopia. My first one, I remember him doing that. I really liked like that was The Platform, and I don't know how long that was.
His video on Utopia is nearly the exact runtime of season 1.
Yeah. Where is it? Where's The Platform? Is it this? Oh, it's this. It's for some reason it's got Logan Paul on the thumbnail. I don't know why. But yeah, his video on The Platform is 1 hour and 20, which is about the runtime of the movie. But the thing is, and this is bad for kind of YouTube commentary YouTubers. I watched that instead of watching The Platform because The Platform's in Spanish. There's no English dub of it or anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whereas when I saw he'd done a video on Utopia, and I was like, oh shit, this looks like really interesting. And I must have watched the first hour or so of it. I paused it and went, you know what, I'm going to just fucking watch this show.
Yeah.
It sounded so cool that I decided to just watch it. So then I watched it twice, like back to back, and then watched his video on it as well.
Yeah.
So, like, that's yeah, it shows, like, how worth getting into it is. And I would potentially recommend doing that as well. I remembered something that happens, I think, right at the start of season 2 that I'm not going to remind you of. I told you about it as I watched it, but I think you'll have forgotten.
Is it
that I want to see if you don't remember, because it might be a bit more impactful. But
it's not the bouncy bus station.
Oh, it is the bouncy bus station.
No, I know. I see. I'm desperately waiting for that bit. So now I'm excited. So
yeah, that's one of the things that freaked me out a lot as well. I was already, after all of season 1, and like in the right time and place with COVID happening, I'm like, woo!
Yeah, and it's just
I press play and start season 2 and go, I live there. Oh god, I'm not so close to there now, but like where I used to live, I guess where I used to live weren't even that close to it, but it was. I used to walk there, but it was a long walk. Yeah. Anyway, so it was the nearest big like kind of bus train station anyway. And it was just freaky. It was just so mad. Seeing, oh god, freaked me out. Who's your favourite character, do you think, so far then?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say that. I kind of just... I just appreciate them as like a Scooby-Doo mystery gang.
Yeah.
Like...
Did you ever watch Misfits?
No, I didn't.
So the guy who plays Ian is in Misfits as well. Yeah. I think I was watching Misfits, saw that video, and that kind of made me think, oh, maybe I'll watch this other thing he's in, whatever. He plays a really different character in Misfits. Really good show to watch as well. It's not as good as this. This is definitely better. It went on far too long, Misfits. I just so wish this got its third and complete season.
Yeah.
But I also, like you were trying to say, I do think it really suits it.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, the type of mysterious thing it is. It's like never actually getting to know end of the story is totally a network move. Yeah. You know? And it almost adds to the realism of it. Just some scores. Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it 100 out of 100.
Yeah.
Audiences 91. IMDb 84, which I think is criminally low, personally. 84. I would have thought your favourite characters would either be Arby, Wilson, or perhaps even Jessica Hyde.
I just appreciate them for all of what they are, like all of them, and I don't think there's one character that I particularly hold in regard to any of the others, because I just like what all of them are.
If we're being honest, in terms of making an impact, Grant's the MVP.
Yeah.
The child.
Yeah. Grant fucking won. Grant won. Yeah.
I've just finished. I can't fully piece which episode has what in, but I've just got to the point where they've got the manuscript, or well, I guess Arby picked it up and they saved that girl or whatever.
Oh yeah, yes. I think that's like episode 4.
Yeah, I think I've just watched episode 3 or 4, so it's I don't know. It just emotionally impacts me so much that I just kind of, when I sit and think about the feelings it gave me when watching it is nuts. Are you gonna? Because some people don't necessarily like to jump into next season straight away. Do you think you will?
I think we'll probably watch episode 1 tonight. To be honest,
probably worth it.
Yeah. Especially now that I know the Bouncy Bus Station scene is in that episode, because
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I can't confirm. It's one of the earlier episodes of that season.
They won't even know that it is Bouncy Bus Station because they've not been in it for like fucking 20 years or something. But I'll point and I'll go, oh look.
So what have they both said about it? What do they both think about it?
They think it's great. Like on a show, they think they do really enjoy it. But also, just the ties with actual COVID, they think it's just fucking scary. Yeah.
What's the granddad said about it?
It were actually him who, when that guy I was talking about, the sort of, I think the guy who's sort of set up in the first episode that you think is going to be like the main antagonist of the series, and I think that's probably why they do it. It's like a bait and switch.
Yeah.
But he really wanted him to come back. He really liked him.
He just fell in love with this character.
Yeah, this character that like tortures people's eyes.
Oh god.
It's like,
that scene as well, and how they like just kind of cut once it's like just had black, it just went almost viscerally to blackness.
Yeah.
When he was spooning his fucking eyeball out.
Yeah.
It were like. It felt like they'd filmed it and they would show it to you if Channel 4 had let them. Like, it really felt like that with how they put it together.
Yeah.
Even though, I guess we know they didn't do that.
Yeah.
They didn't film it, they didn't show that or anything, but it were like, because it like just kind of cut and then just kind of came back after it were done.
Yeah.
It was like they just chopped out the footage of that.
Yeah.
Which, again, doing it in that way almost makes it feels like it's been redacted, by some sneaky government or something like that. Fucking god. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. A good show.
So, what score so far?
I think for me personally, I'd probably maybe give it an 85.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed in that score. I'm glad it's managed to do an 85.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think whether, like, if I had to pick, like, a season 1 or 2, whether it was better or not. I think they're both just kind of the same.
Yeah.
I think season 1, obviously, it's fresh, and, like, introducing these characters and this mystery is really cool. Season 2, there's a kind of some other bits of mystery that add to how, like, what the fuck is this, how does this show know so much type thing.
Yeah.
But also, because we technically get it wrapped up as well, that's kind of a big positive of that. So it's, yeah. I don't know, man.
Pretty good.
I've been watching this alongside rewatching The Ultimate Fighter, which is a very different kind of show. But it's they're both pretty good. Yeah. God, I just love when I've because everything's been so busy lately. I just love kind of once I've had a busy day, done loads of stuff. Often there's a lot of manual labour stuff at the minute in terms of like I've been fixing my car today, and then I get in the bath, I put that on, and I just sit in a warm bath for an hour, just watching that show. Like I'll wash myself and everything, but then like there's 40 minutes left of the show. I'm just like sat in warm, cozy warm. But every so often I'll pour some warm water on my top half to make sure I don't go cold.
Nice.
I would love to know what's it like when you sit down and watch a show with your nan and granddad. Do you have like little rituals? Does everyone need a certain drink or a blanket or something?
No, so
like
just throw it on.
Does everyone have their own seat?
Yeah, we have a seat in order.
Yeah. Where do you all sit?
Nan sits in like the far left corner in one of the seats in a cage.
That seems like the prime spot.
Yeah, and then me and Grandad are on the sofa.
In what order?
Grandad's on the far left, I'm on the far right.
Yeah.
I'm on the far right, you know.
And as you're looking through the doorway, I guess.
Yeah.
Which will not be helpful to anyone else.
No, everybody's just like, what the fuck does
Because
this
your
mean
nan
to us?
normally sits in like an armchair on her own, like just to the right.
Yeah, that's where she sits. That's her spot.
So that's where she watches movies?
Not
shows, sorry.
It's in the corner, like against the wall, not like closest to the door.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't know your left and right then. Because that's the opposite way around than what you just said. Yeah. Oh, she don't get a good view there then.
She does. She does all right. She does all right for herself.
She's sorry about your nan's view is all.
She views more of the series than Grandad does when he's fucking asleep. So
is he managing to keep track? If he's falling asleep?
I don't know. He always says that he is, but I just think he lies. Like
you just think he likes to be there.
Yeah,
he's just happy to be there.
Yeah, like genuinely. So
do you know what? As the older I'm getting, I can't blame him for falling asleep. Do you remember when we'd go to the cinema with our dad and like? Good 70% of the time he'd fall asleep, like more often than not.
Yeah.
And we'd always be like, he's fallen asleep. How is he falling asleep again? Yeah. And I fucking get it. Yeah, I really get it now. How many times do you think you've fallen asleep in the cinema at this point?
You know, I don't think I've never done it in the cinema. I have fallen asleep watching shows before, and I have fallen asleep in the middle of a Queen tribute act.
Yeah, but that was many years ago.
Yeah, I was like an infant basically when that happened. So
I was really into Queen years ago, and it's called the Lamp Room Theatre in Barnsley. It's so fucking small. It's barely bigger than this room.
Yeah,
it's really small.
Yeah.
I think audience must be 20. Like something like that. There was potentially more people performing than you could fit in that theatre. And there was this kind of... It weren't a Queen tribute act. It was a play using just Queen songs.
Okay, yeah.
And there was a sex scene in it, by the way. And I was like 13 when I was into Queen or something like that. Well, maybe even a bit younger. Maybe I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
So, but Dad had booked us tickets to see this on this weekend, which was really nice of him. And I do remember appreciating a lot at the time. And obviously you were forced to come because, like, what's he going to do? Just leave you at home? You can't do that. And it's like loud Queen rock and roll music. Yeah. And just like about 3 minutes in,
I just dropped straight away.
You're like 9 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Normally you just had plenty of energy to stay up all the time.
I know. But then I remember waking up then just as Dad had finished dropping you off. And I came around to the car and I went, what happened? And my dad just looked at me and went, you fell asleep like within the first 5 minutes. So I was like, I don't remember.
But that's such a kid move. Because I remember my first concert I ever went to was Busted, supported by McFly. And I was between 5 and 7, something like that. I wasn't very old at all. And my mum had taken me to see it at Sheffield Arena. It was just me and my mum. And I fell asleep in that. I was so excited. I was so excited to see him. And I think I managed to watch all of McFly, and I think there was a band called Blackstone Cherry that's more of like a heavy rock, metal band, actually. And then we managed to sit through them, and we thought, oh, they're both really good. And it was interesting that then McFly shot off to be maybe more famous than Busted.
Yeah.
Busted came on, and I think I managed 2 or 3 songs and I fell asleep. Weird. But that's like, kid, that happens. I think it's all the like pre-excitement and the fact that for a kid of that age, that's staying up late.
Yeah.
Because we must have been home like gone midnight.
Yeah.
So it is staying up late. So yeah, I remember just falling asleep.
You managed more, but I almost feel like I could see make more sense of me falling asleep because I was sort of like
you were 9 though, and not 5.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
Well, you were 5.
Yeah,
sorry,
I was max 7. Like there's no way I was older than 7. I think I was 5.
Funny. Yeah, no, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
but it was pretty funny. I've fallen asleep probably 3 movies in the cinema, something like that. I can't remember what they were. I remember I was dropping off during Dune, like the first one, because fuck me, the pacing of that film and everything, and I was particularly tired, to be fair.
Was it the soothing Arabian music in the background?
Just give us a bit of a sample of that, dude.
Something like that. More like that, actually,
Yeah, that's why I didn't actually end up falling asleep.
Hans Zimmer, you fucking card.
I didn't end up falling asleep in that because I really wanted to be able to critique it. But I don't know. The films that I fell asleep in weren't that important.
Okay, fair enough.
I remember one time I'd gotten really drunk and stayed up really late. This was when I was at like college, and it was on like a double date, watching some bollocks.
Yeah,
and I full on fell asleep. Like I couldn't keep my eyes off. I remember thinking, I just need to manage to watch like enough of this so that I know basically what's happened.
Yeah,
I was thinking, okay, I know that's happened. I can probably manage 10-15 minutes. Nothing too important's going to happen for a while now. So I'd fall asleep a bit and then I'd think, oh, fuck, I've been asleep a bit.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, okay, let's just watch a bit so I can see where they are now.
That's how Grandad watches stuff. That's how Grandad. It's like, look, I'll get like 5 minutes in, and then have 15 minutes, and then I'll wake up again, and then I'll probably be able to piece it together.
My most recent one was we were watching some housing show, me and Jasmine, and I just fucking fell asleep. I woke up. I was like, whoa! And I go, oh, missed it. What happened? And she said, I paused it. You've been asleep for 2 hours.
Oh,
So
God.
we finished it.
Fucking hell.
She just sat there on her phone.
That's great. I think that's great that she did that.
It is, but it's a testimony to how much she can just sit and fuck about on her phone.
Yeah.
Like, she could sit all day and just, like, scroll Facebook and...
Yeah.
That's it. The only thing she has, really. Yeah. It's harder to... I find it harder to fall asleep when you're watching something at home, though, because you can just fucking pause it and have a nap.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever fallen asleep once during a movie. The only movie I wish that I'd fallen asleep through was fucking Borderlands, and I couldn't sleep through that because of the abject horror that I was experiencing.
Oh,
I was wide awake through like fear of watching one of my favorite game franchises be violently raped in front of me.
What is the most horrified you've been at a movie?
That Borderlands,
really?
Yeah, like, but horrified in the way of just like, how did you do this? How did you fuck up so bad?
So, bearing in mind Fallout TV series and Borderlands movie, BioShock.
Fucking hell, I might kill myself. I might kill myself just so
you're gonna have a heart attack and just teetering whether it's gonna be as good as Fallout or as bad as BioShock.
I know.
As good bad as Borderlands.
But it's a fucking 2K property, innit? Which is the same as Borderlands. So not good. Not looking good. Not looking good.
Is it a movie or a series?
I don't know. I'm not... Because they keep sort of, like, fucking around with the idea. Nothing's, like, set in stone. They've been saying this for, like, the past, like, 15 years that they're going to do something.
BioShock movie. Is it a movie? Is it a movie?
I don't even know if it is... It's...
Much smaller version than originally planned after Netflix lowered the... Oh, it's chalk, Judd.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah.
Just any news along these lines is never going to be good.
Nope.
Okay. So don't let 2K make a move, like have movies and TV shows about their games, basically. 2K not good. Nope. Nintendo good, apparently. Sega good, apparently.
Nintendo are like they can make a movie for children, and that's it. Like,
that's what it needs to be. Yeah. Let's be honest. It's like the Minecraft trailer. I think I said this to you before. How people were like, there were a big post on Twitter saying this is for 6-year-olds. By the way, I don't know why you're all complaining so much, and I kind of have to agree. Like, I know that a lot of people are like, oh, you know, children deserve good content too as well. But I don't disagree with that, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost feel like that's more incentive to make it better because it's like it's not because what producers and like people who make the movies is they want like slop that they can fucking feed to kids and like a mass market thing.
Make loads of money out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, if I was making a movie for kids, I'd be like, I don't want to serve them slop because the next fucking generation is watching this. If I can impart some sort of wisdom on them, I'd love to do that. That's why I like The Last Wish so much, because it's like there's like 3 different really good lessons to tell children in this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't want to sit there and watch Jack Black with his big bushy bearded face going, I am placing blacks and shit because I am in fucking Minecraft. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see, and I don't want to see Jason Momoa either going, yo, yeah, I'm gonna build a pixel and fight a creeper.
Yeah, but I think the point of that is good. Yeah, fine. You're not meant to want to see it. But the 6-year-olds...
I don't want to let my kids watch that either. The kids I have.
It's like, oh my god. Like, I'm so excited to watch Jack Black go, I am placing blacks. That's like their jam, you know. So I kind of get where they're coming from, because if movies really,
I hate children having fun. I hate children having fun.
They're meant to be, at their core, they're meant to be entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, the best entertainment is things that are profound and touches you deeply,
Yeah.
not in a diddy way. In like isn't it funny how like different generations have their own paedophile they can reference? Because my go-to was going to be Michael Jackson, because that would have been our generation's paedophile.
It's
but
too old now, and it's just too stale.
Now we've gone on to
It's Diddy.
Diddy being the paedophile, or Savile would have perhaps been. Jimmy Savile would have been maybe our generation's paedophile. Sorry, I'm just thinking about generation pedophiles. But you know, that's why the best entertainment. What the best entertainment does. Now, not everything has to be the best entertainment, and the Minecraft movie can be entertainment for kids. That's not gonna, because to profoundly connect with a child's soul, that's difficult. They've barely got a soul to come up with. Like, you know, they barely know that they've barely formed their emotional sensibilities. You know who they are and everything. So to emotionally connect with them on that level through something like entertainment is super difficult. And now that's not necessarily saying it's not worth trying to do, but it looks very different in that they might have a blast watching that and remember it being, oh, it's so funny and silly, and that might be the best way that they can emotionally connect with the movie at this point. I'm just kind of theorising, because I don't think it's wrong to say, I don't give a fuck if you don't want to watch it and see Jack Black placing his blocks. It's for 6-year-olds, so I think that's fine.
I don't want to watch Jablinski gaming fucking
placing his post on that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Jablinski game. I remember when you used to love that channel.
Jablinski.
There. I'll do. Jablinski Games. What was the last? A year ago.
And that was,
God, he's Sonic in his thumbnail.
Oh shit, sorry. That actually was a song that he did. But the animation is done by a YouTuber that I really like, called OniNG, who was part of the whole Sleepy Cabin gang. Yeah. Why did you make what?
What was their controversy? Something happened with them.
No, it wasn't. So it wasn't necessarily like group controversies. It was more like certain people who were on it had controversies. So it was like, like I love the title of that Reddit post, but you can't. That's a Reddit post. You can't. There was William Stamper who got super into like hardcore drugs, as this fellow is saying here, you know, and doing like rants online, and then you know Shadman.
Shadman, he was on. That's the one that I was.
So he wasn't like a permanent member of Sleepy Cabin, but he did come as a guest episode a couple times, and then he came. And then he
that's the thing. You've got a tattoo of like it's not with a child porn artist.
But like. That's come on.
Come on, what children? No.
If every YouTuber that ever fucking interacted with a paedophile in some way was removed from all culture, there'd be no more YouTube.
Well, I was thinking this. Like, there was a lot of shit come out about Too Mad, wasn't there? Yeah. When he killed himself, which was really weird. That everyone chose literally the hours after he killed himself to be like, by the way, he's a cunt. Like, even if he's a cunt, I found that really weird. Yeah. It felt a bit like tactical. It was strange. I'm not advocating positively for him in any way, but it's like, I don't know. It was just really odd.
If he's being a piece of shit, tell me he's being a piece of shit when he's being a piece of shit.
Maybe also be sad that someone's died and then like be like, oh shit, he's died. He were a piece of shit rather than going, he's a piece of shit, I hate him,
that beat, by the way, was like a few months representative.
Maybe even a week.
Yeah.
You know, a day would have even been good.
It was like within the hour.
Yeah. But it made me think, like, Too Mad was really quite close to, like, Cold Ones, who I really love watching, and they just kind of never mentioned anything, so far as I'm aware. Anyway, I don't really follow them on like Twitter or something like that. I only really watch the YouTube channel, but I don't know. Sometimes I kind of think, fuck.
Yeah.
And then like it always ends up happening though, doesn't it? I mean, David Dobrik, one of my favourite YouTubers for ages. You know, his career imploded. I think some of the only people who've been my favourite YouTubers that haven't had anything go mega wrong has been like Nice Peter, Epic Rap Battles of History, that kind of thing, which I think their main reason they've not been caught out on anything is because no one's bothered to look into it too much. I could totally see there'd be someone coming out about some sort of like early days of it becoming a company thing, or you know, someone got a little bit too fucking drunk at the Christmas party and like fingered me and I didn't really want them to, you know, something like that.
Whilst he was dressed up as Darth Vader.
I could see something like that coming out, but I'm definitely not saying that's happened, and I don't think it did, and I don't want it to. But that's the type of shit that always ends up happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other one is Rhett and Link, them as well. The only like controversy they've had was like, oh, we used to be like really devout evangelical Christians,
you know,
and now we're not.
That's like the least surprising thing anybody has ever told me. I could just see that.
So yeah, that's kind of the biggest controversy thing. I guess the other biggest is that they're sponsored by BetterHelp still, and a lot of people think that's a scam to prey on people who need therapy. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of, but I don't know. In terms of people that's been my favourite YouTubers, there's always been some sort of controversy come up.
Yeah.
Until then, their career like dies, and I'm not allowed them. They can't be my favorite anymore. I'm thinking like even TGF. You know TGF, don't you know that channel?
No, I do know TGF.
And then they kind of had to stop doing
I
stuff.
must have told this story on the podcast before, but I used to date a girl. I know, imagine dating a girl.
They don't even exist.
No, I know.
What you're talking about.
I was dating this girl at college, and she liked TGF. And one time she was supposed to come over to my house to come over for a bit, and she was like, "Oh no, I can't come over. I'm ill." Which I'm like, "Fine, that's okay, whatever." But then like next week, as we're like in Barnsley bus station, where the dude from fucking Utopia was given a full
or something.
Yeah, we were there, we were talking as we were waiting for a bus, and her friend was there with us, and she brought up, she was like, "Oh, but weren't it good at the TGF event last bit?" And then like said the day that she was supposed to come over, and she was like, "Shut the fuck." And I was like, and that really pissed me off. I know. I was like, why the fuck would you lie? Like, why didn't you just say, "Oh, I want to go to this fan event that TGF are doing"? I would have gone, "Cool, we'll come over another time."
Yeah,
it's
if that were me, I'd have been like, "Oh, awesome, yeah." I'd have been like, "Is there any chance I could come?"
And even if she wanted it as like a girls thing,
I would have potentially said, "Do you just want it to be a girls thing, or or can I come?"
Yeah,
and any reasonable person would have said, "Oh, it's kind of just our thing," or "Sure, come along."
Yeah,
like it's like.
I know, that's why I ended up leaving her, because she just lied about like stupid shit all the time, and then it had become a case of like, well, I don't know when you're telling the truth, because you just lie so easily and so often.
Weird.
So but
yeah, they kind of, even them. I mean, not the worst controversies, but it's kind of like just died really. You know? Like, so it's a shame. All sorts of everything good dies, and it's sad.
I think I might have watched a thing which was sort of like it was almost like a compilation of the controversies that YouTubers have had.
Yeah.
And I think it got to them, and I was like, when it came up, I was like, "Oh, are they going to say that there were nonsense fans at meetups?" And but no, it was nothing like that. Their worst controversy that the guy had was something like, he's one of them called Jay.
Yeah.
I think Jay put like a bucket on his head and filled it with concrete.
No,
or
it was
some
a microwave.
Yeah, and it like got stuck or something. And
they
like,
had to call emergency services to get it off.
Yeah, and that were it.
Video. It was hilarious.
That were it. That was like their biggest controversy. I'm like, that's not a controversy. He's only hurting himself for fucking, and he's getting views for it as well.
Well, the idea is that they wasted taxpayers' money. Is the idea, but
nobody really did have the microwave.
I know, but he didn't need to put a microwave on his head. Oh,
no, it didn't.
The doorbell.
What is this?
1 second.
Oh God, I'm having to take over. Oh God, right. Let's talk about the scented candle industry. Now. I don't know. I don't know why the fuck I'd pick the scented candle industry. Let's talk about Recent offense. I'm just gonna Google recent offense. Oh no, it's gonna come up with like some shit that's happening in Israel. Recent events. This is so bottom of the barrel content. Not recruitment offense. Recent. Yeah, at least the first top 4 things were about stuff that's happening in the Middle East, so I'm not going to touch that. Can we not just have good news?
Don't worry, it's my friendly neighbour. He's come to give me some chicken and leek food. Delicious.
Dozens of tigers are dead after bird flu hits Vietnam. How the fuck did tigers catch bird flu? He's gone back down. You're still stuck with me for a minute. What else have we got in recent offense? I'm not talking about that one. That's too sad. The man behind Japan's 170 billion bid to prop up the yen. Jesus, why the fuck am I talking about this? In his 3 years in the role, the value of the yen against the US dollar weakened by more than 45%. What are they doing in Japan? Sorry, I've just gone really quiet for a second then because I'm looking at this like, oh my god, the Japanese economy's fucking collapsing. What the fuck? Oh, so was the 170 billion bid to prop up the yen a waste of... Wait, are you telling me that he spent $170 billion and then it went down 45%? You know what? I think Japan just needs... I can't say that. I can't say that. Come on. Isn't there like some good news you can give me? Recent good news. Just give me some. Let's go to the Good News Network and see something good.
Mission complete. There's no good news. No, I'll bring you the good news, Judd. Oh, my neighbour brought me around some chicken and leek delicious... I don't really know what it is. Chicken and leek something, but it smells amazing.
When Dying Boy's life support was turned off, he began improving and went home with parents. This is the child, I believe.
I think that's a stock image.
No.
Pigs. Of pigs.
Yeah. Yeah, take over. I started talking about the fucking Japanese yen.
Well done, good work. Well, I think that's probably a podcast because we're going to do some Hearthstone playing after this. So, yeah, we might be doing that for a little while until Judd gets to Legend on Hearthstone this season. Am I right?
Today, no, right now.
Today. So yeah, make sure until you've not got long before we stop posting things. So if you see this, follow us on Kick, YouTube, Spotify, all the things. If you're only listening to the audio version of this, you can follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Kick, tweets badly on X or Twitter. Yeah, we're on episode 241 or 242. What are we on? 242 of 250. 250 is going to be the last one, big finale. So follow us and watch some stuff. Watch what we do live after a podcast recordings. You've not got long to actually witness us doing things on the internet for much longer.
They spent $150 billion trying to prop up the yen, and it's gone down 45% compared to the American dollar. What the fuck are they doing in Japan?
Goodbye.
What are they doing in Japan?
I can nearly afford I nearly went to Japan because I can nearly afford one because of all this shit. Anyway, yeah. Right, bye.